Wicka, 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 wicka. It's Jackie Juice and the Big Squeezy beer.
Woo, woo, woo! Welcome back, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Big hello to Sean. Big hello, the Big Squeeze. How are we, guys?
Hello, team. How are we?
Fantastic, fantastic. Hello, Seany Boltz. Welcome to the podcast, mate.
Thank you very much for having me. Thanks for begging me to come talk with you guys.
We didn't have any better guests, so I guess we had to scrape the bottom of the barrel, and here you are. Welcome.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Welcome today. Obviously, you've been a big fan for a long time, and you've been reaching out to us, trying to get on. So, you twisted our rubber arms, and we're happy to have you here. So, you've been a friend of ours for a long time. So, how did you two meet, the Big Squeeze and Seany Boltz?
It's way back in Waterloo School when I was just a young Serbian import, barely spoke a lick of English. I think it was year 3, maybe Miss Hickling's class, if I remember. Miss Clark and Miss Hickling, and one time I came back there a bit late after class, and out the back, Seany and Miss Hickling were doing some extra homework, so to speak, and I knew that he was my sort of operator, and we've been friends since then.
Yeah, it's pretty much since about that same era when I was walking home from school and I saw some little Serbian wolf lighting fires underneath the slide, and I thought, fuck, this is my sort of guy.
Oh, yeah, well, guilty as charged, Sean.
I might just like to squeeze in there, long-time listener, first-time caller here. It's a great experience.
Yeah, it's great. Your first phone call, you actually make a fucking appearance, mate. So it's a bit special.
Very special.
So how old were you guys then? Like at WK, we're talking like fresh off the boat stuff. What do you reckon?
Fresh off the plane, bro. I reckon year 2000. When did I reckon? Yeah, 2000, 1999, bro. Throwback. I reckon around then, bro, we met. And then I didn't really know Seany my first year. And then the second year, like I said, we were in Miss Hickling's class. And me and him it was a mix of year 3s and year 4s. And me and Sean were the younger guns in the class, I remember. I think they went off dick size, bro, and we had a dick a year above. Put these boys up a year.
That's right. Yeah.
Sean was all F-skin, though, no shaft. But still met the criteria.
Just all skivvy.
Yeah.
You've grown into it, though, I've heard.
It's gone the other way. Doesn't have enough skin now, so.
Yeah.
How about you two, When did you guys meet? When did you first lock eyes?
It was on the first day of third form, Hopefully High School. What a place. We actually lived in the same neighborhood. I came across you, the Big Squeeze, rocked into your form class. I was a little bit late, looked a little bit pissed off. And then, I met Lanky as well, one of our good mates. And then, he's like, mate, do you live in the subway underneath in Waterloo across? And then, do you want to walk home with me, mate? So, and then as I was strolling along, I was introduced to the one and only.
Yes, I was always walking to primary school and intermediate and high school with Dan. And then, he picked up Josh, one of the strays at school. And we took him on board with us. But, it actually became a bit of a thing of yours to be late, eh, Josh? It was me and Dan, bro, we'll be there at 7:05 or whatever time. And then that's what time Josh puts down a bit of toast and a bit of a coffee.
Right. Yeah, man. Just boosting down the road.
One job.
Those walks to school were the best, eh? We caused so much shit. Remember clothesline shopping and stuff? Yeah, bro. Trying to infrared the music. Who had the latest fight at high school? There's always one bloke, bro, that had all the fights videoed on his phone, and he wouldn't share that shit to anyone. So everyone would huddle around on this little Nokia, bro, trying to see the fight. It was always you scrapping as well, Sean. You were part of that fight club that had a high and stuff, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was actually the undefeated champ for a while.
Yeah, what made that interesting though is because normally all the blokes fight other blokes, but you fought women, Sean, and that's what I sort of set you apart. And you were sort of trailblazing for equality since way back. So big ups to you. That's
it. I was only about 5 feet tall at that stage, so I had to take what I could get, and it was just more of an even matchup. So I didn't want to fuck up my stats. So
undefeated.
You got to take what you can get.
Oh well,
and you never back down.
I know too well about taking what you can get, Sean.
And
scraps off the plane.
And the big screens. I remember, just before we were talking about it, I think Shorty was saying when you first landed here, back home in NZ, you didn't exactly know all the words in the English dictionary, and there was something that went down at the playground. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, yeah, I rocked up. I didn't know how to speak English, and this was like my first week or two in New Zealand. And I went to the playground. I saw all these kids playing, and I thought that we were playing a game of let's make up languages. So I just rocked up, bro, and I was just going like, like literally making noises like that, thinking that that's what we were all doing. And then my parents were like, how are you speaking to these kids? I'm like, oh, no, we're not. We're just pretending. And all these other kids are looking at me like, this guy's got some fucking problems. But that's how me and Sean became friends, because he responded to me with some sort of gibberish as well. And I thought he was pretending, but Sean was sort of the same level of English as me at the time. And we actually grew together.
Yeah, I think that's actually why we were in that class, because we were in the special part.
Probably, bro. I don't know why else they put us there. But yeah, that was interesting times, man. And then me and Sean went through a scooter phase. Remember that? We used to ride scooters when we were around 14, 15, and Sean used to have a saying. He used to call people scooters. Everyone likes to ride them. No one likes to admit it, because it was so fun.
Yeah, just like all the women you've been with, eh?
Yeah, I think I'm the scooter, bro. No one likes to admit it. Everyone's ashamed, but secretly I'm a bit of a delight. Remember when we used to get pissed and we went to a friend's house, and she lived at this massive fucking hill, and we would have been like 15, 16, still scootering and skating like mad. And me and Sean thought it was a good idea to scooter down Normandale Hill. Absolutely fucking toasted.
Absolutely shamed.
Downhill, big hill, about a kilometre down. Safe to say me and Sean ended up in the bushes. Yeah. We didn't crash. We just thought we'd stop for a quickie. Dodgy ride.
An entanglement.
Yeah, lick our wounds.
Yeah, lick our wounds. It was the only thing you ended up licking. But
an open wound.
Anyway, yeah, when did you guys, when do you reckon we all started causing trouble? Do you reckon it's like that 15, 16 when everyone started like stealing? Remember we used to drink rocket fuel? We used to steal like a little bit of from every bottle in our parents' cupboards and mix it into like one poisonous concoction, dude.
Yeah, I think it would have been probably third form, maybe fourth form when we really started getting into that. Like I remember, I think I actually took pretty much everything out of my parents' alcohol cabinet, and it was pretty much all just water.
Then your dad goes for a gin, and it just tastes like water.
I don't even think they ever realised either, or they just didn't say anything.
They just like, fuck, we don't want to get into this with them. Just pretend like we don't know.
Yeah, they knew I was the undefeated champ at school, so they didn't want to
They didn't want to fuck. Yeah, we used to drink. We used to get people to buy us. Remember, we'd hang around outside the alcohol shop, and what was it called outside in Waterloo shops? And we just wait and just ask people. Yeah, but can you buy us alcohol? And no one would say. And then eventually they'd say yes, and we'd always buy the cheapest piss, say like $10 bottles of whiskey, Mad Jacks, and like it was the most.
Your favorite. What was the one you liked the most? You loved the Christoph, didn't you?
No, that's you.
Or the Mad Jacks.
Mad Jacks.
Mad Jacks. Kentucky Blue.
Kentucky Blue. The 10% alcohol whiskey. So they just pretty much buy a bottle of Jack Daniels, dilute it with water till it's 10%, and then sell it to you for a markup.
Just used to get drunk and go to the park, drunk and go to someone's house, drunk go to school, drunk go to the movies. Just do anything and get drunk. Hey,
a lot simpler days. Hey.
Should we organise a birthday party? Yeah, where should we do it? Let's do it at Waterloo School at night. 15 little teenagers meet up, eh?
Which is just highly illegal.
Yeah. But even me and Josh sort of grew out of it, Sean, but you still sort of go down to the school if you were drunk, don't you?
Yeah, I think the only reason you two don't go there is because you're legally not allowed to.
Well, look, Sean, we don't have to go into that.
Loitering with intent.
Yeah.
Like statistics, like if we're talking about statistics, Sean, in high school, how often were you drinking in parks? I'd say 1 in 7 days you were out there full bore at a playground, absolutely smashing piss. What do you reckon?
I'd say at a stage that was quite possibly a real stat. Yeah.
Yeah, at one point in our life.
I always had one of you two right next to me. So hey.
Yeah.
Doubling up on the scooter.
Yeah. I believe Josh actually has some statistics for us. Is that right, Josh?
That's right. I got some statistics here today, so we're going to cruise into a bit of mental health chat, and we're it might be a little bit heavy today, and I'll let the statistics do the talking, but it's we're going to be talking about stigma, and we're going to be talking about mental illness in Australia. Us three are all living here now, and so I'm going to hit you with just a couple of stats now. So almost 50%, so 1 in 2 Australians will experience mental illness over the course of their lifetime. Approximately 54% of people with mental illness will not reach out to access treatment. And almost 9 people in Australia today will take their own life, which is pretty hectic.
Every day.
And every day. As we're talking here, somebody is trying to suss that out, man, which isn't the buzz.
But it is stigma. Cool. Even talking about it on here, bro, you start to see like this mood change or this weird thing come about. I reckon that's like what makes it so hard for everyone as well to reach out, even to their own mates and stuff, or to people that they know, to talk about that stuff. So that's pretty fucked, eh?
Exactly. It's all that stigma about you're worried about what other people will think, but
and just makes it worse.
Yeah, it shouldn't have to be like that. We should all be able to be open with each other and just be able to talk about anything, especially to stop things like this happening.
And I guess what's for me as well is like we all grew up real close mates. We always had a group of mates and shit, which I guess we were lucky to have, but not everyone has that as well, which makes it even harder. Do you know what I mean? Some people, like we had a blast at high school, but there's a lot of people that don't have that experience or that find it way harder to reach out to people and to, you know, they feel like they don't have that group of mates that they can bounce ideas off. So I guess even just opening to people, they don't have to be your best mate, but someone that you care about, you know, even just checking in on people that you're not necessarily super close with, just to see, because they might not have that someone to lean on.
That's right. Yeah.
It's right. It's like, it's just like if you work with someone every day, you're going to be the one that's going to notice it, you know, more than say even their mother or something they only see once a week. So, and so that's huge. So if you can just, you know, the ones that are close to you, even your workmates, your family and friends, just if you notice any small change, you know, they're not bouncing into work going, "What up, butter?" They just kind of come and give you that weird handshake, and that's it. And it's been a couple of days. Just even going up to them and just going, "Yo, hey man, I just noticed you haven't been yourself lately. What's the go?" Because I think we all kind of get nervous about that conversation. And the thing is that you definitely can't make it any worse. Like, because if you're wrong, they're just going to be like, no, cuz thank you for noticing, but it's all good. Or they're going to be like, thank you very much for reaching out, because actually I'm not buzzing.
Yeah, you're right.
And there's some other fucked up stats. Like when you were going to be talking about this, the number one cause of death for men in Australia and New Zealand from the ages of 15 to 44 is suicide. 15 to 44, dude. So we're all worried about shit, bro. Like I go out on the boat or something and I'm swimming, or I keep freaking about sharks, or you freak out about heights, or you freak out about all these fucking things. But I'm like, dude, the number one thing you should be freaking out about is getting your mental health right? Because
it's your own brain, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's what's so hard, eh? It's like an internal thing. It's not like an external thing that you're worried about. It's something, and people don't pay attention to it, eh? People just, because it creeps up on you, bro. It creeps up on you like that rash you had, Sean. It just comes, bro, slowly and slowly, bro. No, but really it does, bro. It just gets worse and worse and worse. And then the longer you wait, the harder it is, because it becomes like normal. Yeah. I don't know. For me, when I was feeling down and shit, it came like that slowly, bit by bit by bit. Then luckily I had you boys and a few friends to talk to. So that made it easier, both here and back in New Zealand and everywhere. And then, you know, if you reach out for help, that helps as well.
Exactly.
I think it's just hard.
Even sort of about what Josh was saying about how if someone notices that maybe you're not up to your normal standard or height or whatever, or hype, sorry, like you might not always feel comfortable talking to the people you see every day or whatever, even if it's reaching out to someone, even if you haven't talked to them in a couple of years, or just a distant family member or anything, you know, reaching out and talking to someone is a lot better than just not talking to anyone and keeping it all inside, hey?
Yeah, and even if you don't want to talk to them, the fact that they reached out to you makes you at least feel like someone cares, or someone.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a big move.
Yeah, but even like when I was going through some shit with the family and stuff, people would just say hello, or even they just invite you for a coffee and even talk about it. You do something else, but at least it's like, makes you feel like you've got a bit of a support network out there, not just on your own battling. So
yeah, I think that's
key. I don't know. So reach out. Me and Josh always talk about the reach around. Sean's well versed in the reach around, but really reach out and reach around to someone that you haven't talked to. Give them a reach out and see if they're all good.
And it's going to make your relationship a lot better, a lot closer. And, you know, especially with, like, if you care about someone, then it's going to be all good. There's nothing you can lose from it. It's just, let's help, Kaz. I want to come around. Yeah. Oh, you don't want me to? Oh, well, I'm on my way.
Yeah. All right, well, fuck off then. No. Fuck yeah.
So yeah, let's get rid of that stigma, guys. That's what we were trying to say.
Keep it going on.
Put it to bed.
And we're doing a bit of mental health chat, and me and Josh, we talk about the reach around, but we also love to make love to ourselves regularly, ferociously, and consistently. And so I guess we want to ask you, Sean, what do you do to make love to yourself other than sit on frozen carrots and, you know, room temperature cucumbers? What do you do for your health, for your mental health, to unwind a bit?
Well, lately, you know, I've just, to me, making love to myself, I've quite often been finding myself out on the golf course, bit of time to unwind, you know, a bit of a crazy little sport, but, you know, you just got a nice little quiet space to get in your own thoughts and figure anything out. But usually, you know, towards the end, that's when I usually really make love to myself, when I start sitting on some of the handles and
start backing up
sandwich.
On yeah, it is a nice little activity.
It is, yeah.
Can I clear one thing up with golfers? Now, I like going around, you know me, 9 they used to call me, because I love the sport. But that's exactly my point. Is it a sport or is it just a game?
Ooh.
If you can sink beers, if you can walk around sinking beers while you're doing it, and this is going to be controversial to all you golfers out there, is it a sport, bro? Because I'm fucking eating sandwiches and drinking a beer. I can't do that when I'm playing rugby, which I consider a sport. This is a game, like darts. Don't tell me darts are a sport. It's a fucking game you play when you're.
Well, technically, it is a sport. It's on the sporting channel on Foxtel and Sky Sport, is it not?
Okay. Look, all right.
You know, it's debatable. You know, I see where you're coming from. It's not a bad point, but.
High
you know, the TV doesn't lie, Stefan, and I fucking know you do.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the TV doesn't lie. The media has always been known for telling the truth all the time. Yeah, so
and that was actually how we reconnected, Shawnee. So I know you invited me out for a golf day, and it just turned out to be me and you. And it was just those vicious leather pants that you were wearing. You reckon that you really hit your stride in those, and you mentioned that you bought them from Heather's Leather, and that's how we got on the conversation of the potty. So tell us a little bit about that.
That was actually my first purchase from Heather's Leather. It's actually, I think they're only a size 30 waist, nice, really, really tight pink leather, and I just, you know, just really brings out the color in me, and Josh really, really appreciated those on the golf course.
Are they the arseless chaps? Arseless chaps that you wore around?
Yeah, I think those were the ones. I've actually bought so many since then. I've just got them all mixed up. But yeah, Josh really, really appreciated those, and we bonded, and he actually tried them on, but he definitely couldn't fit them.
No, that's all right.
I think you brought this up, Josh. Leather in the workplace, in the office.
Yeah.
Is it acceptable? Like there's an attire that people expect to wear, but when can you start incorporating some of that gear in a more professional, formal setting?
It's a big question. You know, people obviously been working the leather jacket for a long time. But you know, when you're bringing in the leather chapless pants, you know, what do you guys reckon?
It's a fine line, you know. It's going to be a while before you can bring those into the construction industry, I think. But maybe Stefan, you could probably bring them into the office, which I'm sure you already have.
Definitely. You got to start slow and just work them in. Like you go leather shoes, yeah, that's pretty standard. Everyone wears leather shoes in the office.
Yep.
Next thing you know, bro, you got leather socks on. Something a bit more subtle. Then maybe your watch, bro, it's got a leather band on it. Okay, that's sort of still acceptable. A bit weird with the leather socks. And you sort of start, I think you just got to let it build up. I reckon if you just show up one day full leather head to toe, it's a shock.
Yeah,
with the ball gag.
Then you wear a jacket. Yeah, you wear a jacket with little leather patches, and you slowly just start converting till you're going there full blown head to toe. Yeah. I've been wearing the snakeskin as well, heaps, I reckon.
It looks good too, stylish.
Yeah.
Where have you been wearing that? Sort of a jacket or?
Yeah, it's undies? A jacket. No, the undies are. I'm still I'm still not sold on leather undies because I haven't found a leather soft enough to. Been getting mad. I've been trying.
The snake skin wrapping up your snake.
Yeah, a little snake skin, little python, little green tree snake they used to call me. But I reckon that's when you got to sort of draw the line. When you're getting blisters where no blisters should be, then I had to bow out. As much as I'm a supporter of Heather, I had to tell her this is a bit too far, to be honest.
So, moving on from there and talking about your leather coin purse. So, Sean, I remember you telling us that you used to, back in Waterloo School, I guess the big screens can talk about this as well, but you guys used to measure your foreskins with 20-cent pieces or something. Would you guys be able to talk about how the leather purse came about?
Yeah, so Stefan actually, I think he stole from his auntie this nice little leather coin purse, which actually turned out it was from Heather's leather. One of the original pieces, and he was stacked up with 20-cent pieces, and we had a competition to see who could fit as many 20-cent pieces in your foreskin without them falling out as you could. And as we all know, Stefan came out $6.40, and I was only 40 cents. So Stefan won by a convincing $6.
Yeah, but it's
a day for the memory books.
But you've sort of upgraded since then, Josh, Sean, and you started using the 50-cent pieces, the Australian ones, the hexagon. And you told me you could get $6-7 worth when you go out to, petty change, you used to call it, petty cash. You go around, you buy your lunch at work, you go down to the local fucking smoko shop.
Yeah, I've sort of worked and lived in some pretty dangerous places, and it's sort of the only safe place that I could hold my money. It sort of gets a little bit awkward when you go and buy your morning coffee and you have to get your wanger out though.
Elephant trunk, and you're shooting it up onto the stand.
Just get my turtleneck out, thanks.
Oh, two-man tent, you called it once, Sean. That's what I've heard, mate. So you guys went camping. A few times in Sydney there. Is that right?
Yeah, yes, right. I think me and Josh have gone on separate times though, unfortunately. I think it would have been quite dangerous if I was in the same camping spot as Josh, because I'm a little bit scared of him at dark time.
Josh was really insistent on two of us sharing a one-man tent. So Josh is actually coming to visit me, and we're planning on doing a camping trip. And he keeps going one-man swag, one sleeping bag. That's all we need, brother. Save on space, save money. I'm not sold yet, but yeah. Queensland's known for its harsh winters, yeah. Somewhere between 20 and 26. Don't want to fucking freeze out there, man.
Yeah. I've actually heard through the grapevine that you've actually been known more recently as the Beast of Southeast Queensland, Stefan. Can you touch on that a little bit?
The Beast of Southeast, that's what they call me around the gym, dude. I've sort of been going, that's one of the reasons I'll go into that one is, I've actually been getting real crazy into Zumba, bro. Zumba classes, And I've gone to the point where I'm sort of the top dog around the gym when it comes to the Zumba. So you got all these big meatheads, lifting weights, bro. And, they think I'm a fucking little bitch for doing Zumba, but I'm in there with 15 women swinging my hips around. And they've decided to call me the Beast of Southeast precisely for that reason, Sean. Because when I start swinging the hips, that meat sandwich between, bro, starts getting a bit of a fucking swing to it as well.
So you're completely denying the fact that it's got anything to do with the Beast of Blenheim?
Well, Sean, I don't know what your stepdad's done in Blenheim, but that's sort of for you to work through and the lawyers to work through, mate. And I'm going to say that I was a fan of his at first until I realized what he had done. Because, again, I thought it was a sort of a gym phrase, that he was a big, heavy lifter.
Yeah, and understandable. It's easy misunderstanding.
The leather tutu at Zumba, Stiffy, that's definitely a statement piece. And I know they've got a few photos around the gym. And Heather's super proud of you advertising those. How does that feel?
Well, it feels like I'm not wearing anything, Josh. It feels like freedom. It feels like I am one with it. Do you know what I mean? I guess the thing with everything else, it's a bit restricted when you're out there doing semi-professional weightlifting. You're trying to do the clean and jerk.
Yeah.
And I know you're quite familiar with the clean and jerk, Josh, but you normally do the jerk and clean. I'm trying to do the clean and jerk, and found myself getting snagged because I used to wear the shoelace singlets. So now
don't you wear the nipple tassels now? Don't you have the leather nipple tassels now to stop that?
It's for your shoulders, yeah. So when you do the shoulder exercises, you hang a couple of dumbbells off there and you just pump the shoulders out. Yeah, it gets there. But now I've got droopers as well, Josh. So I'm trying to work through that situation.
A lot going on.
Yeah. The gym sounds like an interesting place for you, Stefan.
Sean, it's what you make of it. It's sort of like life. It's what you make of it, Sean. You know, if you just want to run through the motions every day, well, that's on you. But if you want to go there and spice things up, see you later, bro.
Let's go.
So we're talking about a little bit about stigma and things like that people don't often talk about. I guess another thing that people don't often talk about is sharding and shard attacks. As Sean put it, Shard Week. We've all been there as adults, and if you haven't been there yet, you will be there one day. I know Josh was a serial sharder.
Guilty.
Guilty as charged. And you think it's just a little fart bubbling up, and next thing you know, you're dealing with a situation. You've got a dilemma on your hands.
It's all like your back situation.
When was your first shard, Josh, and how did that, what led you to get there, and how did you deal with it?
I remember it was a beautiful sunny day. I'm pretty sure you were down the beach. The seagulls were making the usual noises, and I remember just wearing this a really nice pair of swimming shorts, and I just met up with a couple of mates, and I remember running down to the beach, and when you squeeze that fart, and I've got quite a perky little bum hole, so when it actually bubbled up, I could just feel it snap and then pop, and then unfortunately I had that poo stain, and I hadn't made it quite to the water yet, and I just remember you do when the hot flushes come on, you're freaking out. You're like, who the fuck can see me? And I was quite quick, so everyone's behind me, and I think everyone just saw that wet patch, and ever since then everyone's been calling me Pooh Bear.
It doesn't help wearing white shorts to the beach and doing that either, Josh, does it?
That was the last time those were worn. That's why I always go for leather now.
Yeah, it doesn't let the stains go through.
Safer option.
And
I remember one time, and look, this is embarrassing, but I think I was around 18 when I experienced my first shard attack. And it happened at the worst time. I was in Courtney Place at would have been like 2 a.m, just had a night out partying, and I just had to take a shit. It comes on, and I'm trying to walk to this toilet, the nearest toilet, and some guy just purposely shoulder barged me on the way, and I'm busting for a shit. He was real cook, bro, and just starts trying to fight me for no reason. I swim off. I'm like, dude, I need a shit, bro. Don't fucking and bro, he starts me, bro, just trying to start a fight. And the only thing I'm trying to fight is the fucking urge to shit myself, bro. And then I'm like, I start punching on with this dude, bro. And then I let a little fire, bro, and I followed through. And then I just fucking halfway through the tussle, bro, I just got up and walked away. I'm like, bro, I'll take this on the chin, bro. I lost the fight, and I lost the fucking thing, bro. I had to just walk to the toilet.
You lost a pair of underwear.
Yeah, I did, bro. Just left the undies in the toilet, just jumped in a cab and go home. Night's over, eh?
I noticed you just briefly talked about your first shard experience, Josh. I was just wondering if you could actually share your latest one as well. When maybe give us a bit of a time frame on that.
So probably I'll be honest, within the month, I'm pretty deadly for those, bro. I've got serious fucking trust issues, bro. Fucking, when you're fresh, you're running late for work. Fuck, I'll smack a quick coffee, jump into the car, boost into work. You're stuck in traffic, and you squeeze out a little fart, and you can feel it kind of bubble up your backside and up your back, and then you hear it pop. And you're like, that wasn't a proper pop. So you got to fucking poo up your back, man. And then you got to do a U-turn. You got to ring your boss. You got to tell him you shot yourself. He's like, fucking whatever, and he doesn't believe you.
Oh, you done it again?
Yeah, not again. You're on your third warning.
Kidding.
Could you give us maybe the statistics on that?
I reckon once per year at least for you, Josh. Do you reckon once per year?
I was thinking maybe once a fortnight. It sounds like.
Once a financial quarter. Do you reckon? How often do you do the full shot?
Man, I fucking shot all the time. That's a weakness.
I feel like there's potentially some underlying health conditions there, Josh. You probably want to see a doctor about that.
Got a leaky tap, bro. Probably see a Bro, speaking of pooing, I've got a story about it. I was once at a party, bro, and I was with a friend, and he needed to take a shit, and someone was in the toilet, and it was 3 of us, and then we ducked into the laundry, and this guy decided to take a shit in the laundry basket. He just pulled up, and this was at someone's house, and he pulled up all the washing. So it was like a layer of washing. He pulled it off, took a shit, and then put it back so no one would notice, bro. So this little Grogan would be there for so long, just like you'd smell poo there, but you wouldn't know where it came from.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah, I know.
It is. What do you call that? What's like a landmine? Like you don't know it's there until all of a sudden you got your hand in there and you're like, fuck.
And then we all got a message the next day, like a week later, bro, and saw this girl at school, and she's like, someone shat in my blah 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 basket. And I know, because I walked into that laundry and found the culprit halfway through his shit, and I knew exactly what was going on. Decided to walk away from the situation.
Is that because you walked into the laundry and saw a mirror, or what?
I'm looking at the culprit right now, and I'll tell you right now, it's not me, baby. So it's a 50-50 for the listeners to decide who the culprit may be.
I've actually got another story that's pretty crazy, but
and it's the same person, unfortunately, that it happened to. The same party, like 1 year later.
Same premises.
Same location.
Same location. So, yes, it was someone we know. This was ages ago. And he goes by the name of JJ as well. You know, it could be Jockey Juicy, you tell me. But so we'd all had the big party. It ended. It'd been a good night. Been a fair amount of drama. A few KGBs been drunken, and so we all kind of crashed out in the room. And this fella woke up and noticed that his pants were wet, and he was like, "Oh,
soiled."
It's soiled. It's always he's saying it's pitch black in this room, and so he's reached his hands down into his pants, and he's noticed it's semi-solid down there, and there's a bit of a scent to it. So he's like, "Fuck, you know, it's been I've sharded myself," and so he's gotten up, gone to walk out, and obviously it's been a bit dark in the room, so his hands are covered in feces. He's kind of like trying to get his way out, and on the way out, he's come across a fucking full mirror. It was a decent sized mirror, and he's kind of like pushed into it. That's come down on top of him, smashed him. He's cut himself. And so as he's gotten up, he's covered in feces and blood. And so he's kind of feeling his way outside of the room. And then that's when he's just sprinted for it, and he's left the crime scene. And so that's when the next day we've got the same kind of message like you said. And she sent photos with it, and it looked like an absolute fucking crime scene.
Absolutely.
There's I don't know how much investigating got done on that, but has anyone ever thought that maybe it was a ghost? You know?
Sorry?
I don't know. It could have been a shit ghost.
Didn't you used to dress up in I'm going to bed sheet and go to town? Shawnee? Are you trying to claim that ghost recon?
Yeah, I think it was just because I was so pale, and I didn't. I just thought that white was my color at the time, but it definitely wasn't.
You got into a bit of drama because you used to like dressing up as a ghost. But what you weren't really aware of was that you looked like a fucking grand wizard of the Ku Klux Klan with all those bed sheets, Sean. And so I remember one time you absolutely copped to hiding, innocent, because you just thought you were dressing up like a ghost for a dress up. And you absolutely copped to hiding, walking down the street, looking like the grand wizard without even realizing it, till we had to pull you aside and go, bro, that's not all good.
Yeah, this was when I was only when I was 7 years old as well. So she got beaten up by a 50-year-old man.
It's pretty rough.
I'm still going through the court cases for that.
Yeah, it's been a lot.
Unfortunately, he's passed on, but you're still dealing with it.
They're still dealing with it.
A lot of trauma.
Everyone's embarrassed. My brother here. Fuck it. He would have been like 16, bro, and he had a dream that he was at school and he needed to take a shit, and that all the cubicles were taken, and we had this little like woven rubbish bin in our bathroom, and he reckons he woke up like he was obviously semi-awake but still like in a dreamlike state, and he reckons he came to and he realized that he was squatting over the fucking basket in our bathroom right next to the toilet, bro, laying a Grogan into it, bro. And he reckons he's like, what the fuck? Like, I just woke up. He put it in the wheelie bin, bro. Finished the business off in the toilet. Went to sleep. And the next day, mum's like, "Where's the fucking basket? Like, where's the rubbish? Where's the rubbish bin?" And he's like,
"You don't want to know."
You don't want to know. I took a shit in it because I was half asleep, not even drunk, bro. And I was like, "Oh my god, how does that even happen?"
That's pretty dangerous. Imagine what else he could do.
Oh. Weren't you notorious for wet dreams, Seany, especially when you were staying over at friends' houses and top and tailing? Do you want to explain a little bit about those, bro?
I'm really glad you brought that up because it's actually a physical, medical ailment. Medical condition. No,
because you've got a foot fetish, Sean? So every time you would top and tail, you'd have their feet in your face, and while you're asleep,
love the smell of putty feet.
Yeah, the scent of those trotters, bro. I used to just get you dreaming like wild, and you would just. And it's normal for teenage boys to experience things. Maybe a little bit less normal when it comes to particularly feet. But look, everyone's got their kink, bro. And we're not going to kink shame you. We know you're a foot man. You've always been a foot man. Yeah. That's why you worked at Foot Locker for 15 to 20 years, right, Sean. So
it started when I was 2 years old. It started young.
Yeah, how'd that start? Just sort of one day came across a shoe, gave it a whiff, and said, "I'll have more of that, thanks."
Yeah, pretty much. Instead of trying to feed off the breast, I think I just started trying to feed off the toes, and pretty much where it all started.
Accidentally lashed onto a toe one time, and fair enough.
Loved it, never stopped.
Is it true? Like, I know it's true because whenever we're on Instagram, whatever, scrolling, and this is way back. This is back when before we had our partners and whatnot. You'd actually zoom in on photos of girls, and you'd actually look at their feet first before you'd even make any kind of decision.
So was that a question or a statement?
I guess it was a question.
Because your Tinder profile was just your feet, wasn't it?
Yeah, just showing off my luscious talons.
Yeah. Fuck, fair, bro. And we're talking about poo chat. I bring it back to the poos, Everyone loves a bit of poo chat. But I remember going to a nightclub, bumping into this guy that I went to school with at a nightclub. And for his own sake, we'll call him Lawrence. And he goes, "Bro, I need to go to the toilet." And so I said, "Okay, I'll walk to the toilet with you, kind of like girls do, boys can do it too." And he goes in and I'm guarding outside the door while he takes a poo. And I thought he had finished his business, but he walked out with toilet paper in his hand and a poo in his hand. And I was like, "Bro, what the fuck is going on here?" Okay. Bro, and he rocks up to the dance floor. This was a Boogie Wonderland, bro, where they have those tiles that light up.
Yeah, the disco.
And I see this man walk to the middle of it, bro, incognito, and just drop a little fucking bombshell, a little Grogan right in the middle of the dance floor, bro, and then just keep walking through. And I don't condone it, but I was just watching from a distance, like, what the fuck, bro? Like Michael Jackson comes on, bro, everyone starts boogieing and just starts spreading feces all, bro. And because it's a light up dance floor, there's just streaks of shit. Oh my goodness. Like, what have I just witnessed? What have I just partaken in? It was not a heads up, bro, I'm going to take a shit in my hand. And it just he just, at one point, between him entering the bathroom and going to the toilet, he must have made a decision that I'm going to poo in my own hand and then drop her on the dance floor. It's not like anyone egged him on. This was purely a solitary act of terrorism.
I feel like you must have been you've got to be part of that. You're part of the crime of being the watchdog and not standing up and saying anything. So you're guilty. You're guilty as charged, mate.
Sean, if there's a man with a fistful of shit walking towards you, I dare you to try stop him. It's either going on the floor or it's going in my eye. I just took a stood aside and said, "You hold the power in this room, mate." Yeah. You say jump, I say how high.
So I think we might just leave that there. Any last comments, lads? It's been a good chat. Thank you so much to Seany Boltz for coming on The Big Squeeze.
Thanks for having me.
We'll just do what Seany never did on his white night stands, and we'll wrap it up. I'll leave it there.
Thanks, mate. Thanks, boys.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers.
Catch ya.
Cheers.
Fuck off.
Wicka. It's Jackie Juice and The Big Squeeze, beer.